What's up, everyone? My name is Ethan. Welcome to Splash City. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Did you know that most of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed? I'd like to try to change that. So, if you have been around the channel for a while, you like the type of content that I produce, please consider hitting that button down below. It would really mean a lot to me. With that out of the way, let's get into it for today. NBA Summer League is here, ladies and gentlemen. It has been awesome so far. This is day 4 of NBA Summer League, and honestly, this might have been my favorite day so far. If not, only because I sat about 15 feet from Steph Curry for the entire Warriors game. I had a crazy good seat. I kind of might have snuck my way down into the quote-unquote VIP section. I was just by myself, so I didn't have to, look for a group of 2 or a group of 3 seats. It was just me tonight, so I got to kind of just look for the open chair and go sit in that one. It wasn't really VIP. I was more in, I guess, the section where you have to pay like a ton of money to get the upgraded better seats. I just paid for general admission, but the way that this is working right now is it's just general admission. You can kind of go sit wherever. Nobody has an assigned seat. If you pay to upgrade, you get to go into the upgraded section, but security has been pretty lax so far. They were turning people away who tried to get down there, but I was kind of already in there before they had started really trying to, turn people back. So I just got to sit in my seat, and they didn't ask me any questions, and I was cool with that. So I was about 3 or 4 rows behind Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Baron Davis was sitting down there, Bob Myers, the Warriors general manager, others. Mark Jackson was sitting just a couple feet away from me. I was in the row in front of Sean Livingston and Leandro Barbosa, both former Warriors players who now currently work in the front office. I saw Rich Paul. He was just a couple of rows down from me. Who else? I think that's off the top of my head. That's everybody that I was really close to. Of course, there were more players in and around the arena all day long today. But crazy to be able to sit that close to some of my favorite people and players in the NBA. I had some great videos of Steph and all the other players that were around. I put some of those up on TikTok and Twitter, so go check those out over there. I got a super awesome video of Gary Payton Jr.'s dunk that he had near the end of the Warriors-Raptors game tonight. Gary Payton went up and slammed one down, poster dunk, and I got Steph Curry's reaction to that in the corner of my video clip. So super awesome to get that video, and that one's up on my Twitter, so go and look at that one. And that one's over on TikTok as well. So that's my first reaction of the day is, holy crap, I was really close to a bunch of Warriors people, and that was really awesome. So now let's talk actual basketball reactions. We'll just start with the Warriors-Raptors game. This one, Golden State was up for most of it. The Raptors kind of started to make a comeback near the end, but ultimately the Warriors do end up pulling away and winning this. Malachi Flynn was, he tried to be the lead guy for the Raptors today. He wasn't as good today as he was in their first game against the Knicks a couple of days ago. Only shot 6 for 19, finished with 16 points. He was clearly the go-to guy for them and just sort of an off night, so makes sense why they would, not be playing as well today. Scottie Barnes had a pretty good game. I thought he had a couple of nice moments on defense. 13 points and 8 rebounds for him. Only shot 2 for 8 though. Not the best outing from Scottie Barnes. Other than that, Delano Banton had 10 points off the bench. Precious Achiuwa making his debut for the Heat. Or not for the Heat. He was just on the Heat, of course. The Raptors, part of that sign and trade for Kyle Lowry. He did not play in the Raptors' first Summer League game because that had not gone official yet. But today he did show up and had 13 points and 11 rebounds. So Precious Achiuwa, hoping that he can be a nice piece for the future of the Raptors and getting him some reps with the team early right away. Let's talk about the Warriors side of things. Kuminga was 0 for 3 on dunks that would have brought the house down. I was hoping that he would punch one because I was kind of taking some video clips, when I was anticipating a big dunk from him, and I got a couple of those missed ones on video, but he did not end up putting one down, but man, was the arena ready for it. Everybody was on their feet, hoping that one of those would go in, and it was clear that he was, that Kuminga was really wanting that, He was going for it. He was going for a massive dunk, and he just missed a couple of them. So his field goal percentage, he was only 5 for 17 in this game. A lot of those misses were, missed dunks or missed, right at the rim. So I'm not super concerned about the shooting numbers that way, just because in the context of the game, those weren't as bad as the box score might tell you. 18 points. He hit 3 threes, 3 for 6 on 3, which is super encouraging to go along with 4 rebounds. Kuminga he clearly has a lot of talent. He is a raw prospect, but I thought he had a pretty solid game today. Moses Moody was 3 for 7 on 3. He didn't shoot the ball that well either. He also had a couple of misses on easier shots. 14 points for Moody. Justinian Jessup, finally got his shot to fall, 3 for 4 on 3. I was pleased with Jessup's performance today. And Gary Payton is really looking to make the final roster. He's on a non-guaranteed contract. He's trying to fight his way onto the Warriors roster for next season. And if he continues to play well, it's going to be hard to tell him no, because he's really been impressive so far in the Summer League games. And if he plays well in the preseason, he's got a good shot at cracking Golden State's roster for next season. So 5 for 6 from the floor for him, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 13 points. Overall, really, really solid game from Gary Payton. So those are my thoughts from the Warriors-Raptors game. This was probably one of the more fun ones of the day, and I was just really happy that I got to see some of my idols, honestly, some of my favorite players and guys that I followed for a long time just sitting super, super close to me, which was honestly a dream come true. Bucks and Nets, I don't have too many takeaways from this one. I missed the first half, and I really only watched portions of the third and fourth quarter. I caught the very end of this one when Brooklyn kind of put it away. Milwaukee, for them, Jordan Nwora was the guy again. He only shot 1 for 11 on 3, so he didn't have a great shooting night overall, but was the leading shot taker by far and scored 22 points. He was good for them in their first game, and it's clear he's the go-to guy for them right now. Just a little bit of an off day from him, and that's ultimately why they fall just short here. On Brooklyn's side, David Duke had himself a nice game. Reggie Perry was pretty good. Quindary Weatherspoon with 15 points. Off the bench, Cam Thomas was the story for them, really. 22 points for him on 6 for 14 shooting and 2 points and 4 assists. So Cam Thomas, I thought was probably Brooklyn's best player today. I don't know why he was coming off the bench. I mean, he played the most minutes out of anybody, and I think he should probably be starting for them, but it's just Summer League, so who cares? And yeah, 22 points for Cam Thomas. He was clearly, I think, the best player on the court for Brooklyn, and that's why they ultimately ended up winning this one. Moving on to Heat and Grizzlies. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the end of this. This was a double overtime game, and if you don't know, Summer League does double OT very differently than it happens in the regular NBA season. They only play one overtime, and it's 2 minutes, and so just 2 minutes, quick overtime period. And if it's still tied at the end of that, they just go to sudden death. Next basket wins, and the clock turns off. So if you go to double overtime, there is no clock, there is no time, and it's just whoever scores, whoever puts the ball in the basket first is the winner. So the Miami Heat pulled this one out here, 3-point victory on a game-winning shot from Max Strus from near half court. He was well behind the 3-point line when he drilled that one. I would have loved to see that in person, but I was in the other game as this was happening, across in the other arena. So did miss that game-winning shot by Max Strus. I watched the first half of this one. Zaire Williams looked really confident. I was impressed with Zaire Williams, and he finished with 19 points on 6 for 10 shooting. So overall a very solid game from Zaire. I was impressed with his comfort level, considering that he is one of the more raw prospects coming into this year's rookie class, but he looked comfortable and good. On the Heat side, Max Strus with 32 points and 9 rebounds, shot 7 for 17 from 3. He was far and away the best player for them. Him and Omer Yurtseven, who had 23 points and 11 rebounds. Both of them were great. And Strus, he honestly probably shouldn't even be playing Summer League. He has, enough NBA experience and just signed a deal with them to continue with the Heat. So he's clearly one of the better players here at this tournament. And then Dejan Jarreau also had 14 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. So near triple-double for him. Overall solid game, and he actually might end up cracking the roster when it gets down to it. Moving on to Cavs and Magic. This one was, in my opinion, Jalen Suggs was by far the best player on the floor in this game. Better than anybody else on the Magic and anybody on the Cavs today. They did end up losing. Jalen Suggs and the Magic lose by 10 here. Cleveland, they pulled away off some pretty good shots by Ryan. I don't know his first name, but he hit 4 for 7 on 3 for 12 points for him. Trevon Blewett also shot well from 3, 4 for 6 for 14 points. In the starting lineup, Isaac Okoro and Broderick Thomas, Lamar Stevens, Evan Mobley, all in double digits. Mobley had 14, 7, and 6. So pretty good game from him stat-wise. I'm still not super impressed with Mobley's physicality. I think he needs to gain some weight and really, start to play more bully ball down low, because he kind of gets pushed off his spots. He's really tall and really skinny, and that is the case with a lot of young big men when they enter the NBA. I mean, Mobley's 19 or 20, so he still needs to fill out physically. But I'm going to give him some time to do that. But honestly, out of the top picks in this draft, I've probably been the least impressed with Mobley, which I think is a controversial take. I think a lot of people have been pretty high on Mobley throughout the first couple of games of this summer league, but he really has not done anything that's crazy wowed me. And I watched him play live a couple of times in college too, and he wasn't that impressive when I watched him in college. I'm not going to be a Mobley hater, because I do think he has a lot of potential, but I think out of some of the top picks in this draft, he maybe has the longest way to go before he really starts to pop in the NBA, and that's the case with a lot of young big guys, right? In general, the center position takes the longest time to develop, as compared to young wings and guards. They can be more effective right away. Look at DeAndre Ayton, right? Ayton is a guy who has been great, this past year, but his first couple of seasons in the NBA were a little slow, especially compared to his peers in his class with Luka and Trae Young. And then if we go back to last year, James Wiseman, obviously injuries and the situation played a factor there, but he had the slowest start out of any of the top picks from his class. So I'm not necessarily, hating on Mobley. I think it's just the reality of the young big men in the NBA, but I'm expecting that he will take a little bit longer to be effective than some of the other guys in his class. That was kind of a tangent, but that was my kind of takeaway from Cavs and Magic today, at least on the Cleveland side. As far as Orlando goes, I already said this, Jalen Suggs was, to me, the best player on the court, and it wasn't close. He had such command, such control of the game. He had 16 points, 8 rebounds. On only 6 for 13 shooting, the numbers are not going to jump off the stat sheet at you. He's only credited for 1 steal, but it felt like 5. He had 5 or 6 plays where he basically forced a turnover that's not going to show up on the stat sheet. Whether that's forcing the ball out of bounds or playing good defense, forcing the turnover that's not going to show up as a steal. Jalen Suggs really, he just made winning plays all night long, and I was super impressed with him, even though the Magic did end up losing this one. So that's my takeaway. Jalen Suggs is going to be really good right away, and I think Mobley's going to take a little bit more time. Next game is Thunder Pelicans. I didn't watch a second of this one. I went straight from Cavs Magic into Raptors Warriors. This Thunder Pelicans game was happening in the other arena, and I did not go over there. So Josh Giddey didn't play, unfortunately. That ankle injury that he suffered the other day. I did see that he posted a video on social media, and that ankle looked pretty swollen. I don't know if that was from directly after the injury or if that was from right now, a couple of days later. I'm hoping that he does end up getting to play in at least 1 or 2 of these games, maybe closer to the end of Summer League. But if that ankle is still swollen and the sprain is as bad as it looked, then he might not be able to show up in the Summer League. So only a couple of minutes for Josh Giddey in the first game, and he didn't play today. Thunder lose by 15. Just looking at the box score, Trey Mann, Oscar Da Silva, and Aaron Wiggins all in double figures. From the Thunder's first game the other day, I was impressed with Oscar Da Silva and Aaron Wiggins. I kind of already talked about them the other day. And then on the Pelican side of things, Trey Murphy didn't shoot the ball as well tonight, but it looks like he still had 10 points and 6 rebounds. Kyra Lewis with 12, and Najee Marshall had 18 points and 11 boards. So Pelicans win that one. Not super concerned about the outcome of that game because Giddey didn't play, and kind of weird on that side. But hoping that Josh Giddey can get back and at least show up in 1 or 2 of these games near the end. Jazz and Mavericks went to double overtime, and the Jazz win it on a free throw from Trent Forrest. So not quite as exciting as the Max Strus 3 in double OT for the Heat, but I did catch the end of this one. Trent Forrest, gets fouled in double overtime on the first possession and misses the first free throw. The pressure got to him a little bit, but he sinks the second one to give the Jazz the victory here. Udoka Azubuike is the most physical big guy in the entire Summer League so far, to me, at least off the top of my head. Azubuike is huge. He's super tall and he's super strong. And he had 11 points today on 4 for 4 shooting. He made all the shots he took. 8 rebounds as well. One of them was an and one to tie the game at the very end, I think was the situation, where he got fouled. And they were down 3, and he dunked on somebody, got fouled, and hit a free throw to force overtime there. So Azubuike, big game from him. The entire starting 5 for the Jazz was in double figures. Elijah Hughes hit a 3 to tie it as well at the end of regulation, I think was what it was. The Azubuike one was at the end of the first overtime, and Elijah Hughes was at the end of regulation, hitting a 3 to tie the game. Gerald Brantley with 11 points. Trent Forrest had 16 and the game-winning free throw. And Dakota Mathias finished with 14 points as well. Maseo Teague with 13 off the bench. On the Magic side of things, Eugene Omoruyi, I think is how you say that. Omoruyi, 16 points. He's from Oregon. 8 rebounds. And Tyrell Terry with 10 in the starting lineup as well. R. Franks, I think it's Robert Franks, with 17 off the bench. Exciting game. I don't have a ton of takeaways from any of these players other than Azubuike is really big and really strong, and I wasn't really paying too much attention to the Mavericks. I didn't watch the first half of this one. I really only caught the fourth quarter and overtime, so nothing crazy to take away from that one. And then the nightcap, Knicks and Lakers put Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley in the category of Malachi Flynn, Payton Pritchard, Aaron Nesmith, Patrick Williams, second-year guys who were too good to be playing in the Summer League. Quickley was dominant, 25 points, 7 assists. Obi Toppin, another double-double for him, 17 points, 11 rebounds. They're both just better than a lot of the guys who are here, and it's good experience for them, but they really don't need to be here. And the Knicks have played 3 games already. They played the most games out of any team, and they're 2-1. So good solid victory for the Knicks over the Lakers here. On LA's side, I wasn't too tuned into this one. I was kind of still starstruck from my Warriors experience and was kind of posting all the highlights on social media while this game was going on. So I wasn't super tuned in, but on the Lakers side, Devontae Cacok and Joel Ayayi, both in double figures. Law had 14 as well. Off the bench, Queen with 13. I was kind of watching Mac McClung, who had 5 points and 7 boards, which the 7 boards is nice for a smaller guard. It's showing you that he does know how to rebound, which is good. Other than that, Yoli Childs, 9 points off the bench for him. Nothing crazy to take away from the Lakers. I'll probably watch them more in depth later this week, and hopefully get a better look at Mac McClung, because the first two Lakers games I haven't really been tuned into that much. So yeah, that's the end of day 4. Through 4 days of the tournament, I have watched pretty much every team, at least some. The only team that I have not caught, actually there's 2 teams that I haven't caught at all, and that's the Sixers and the Timberwolves. And the Sixers I'm not super concerned about because they don't really have any super high draft picks that I was really looking forward to watching. Daishen Nix, who was undrafted, is a guy that I definitely want to see. And Tyrese Maxey, he was dominant in their first game. They've only played once. So hoping to catch the Sixers tomorrow. And the Wolves I'm actually really excited to see. Because they have one of my favorite undrafted guys, McKinley Wright the fourth, I want to watch. They have Kenny Wooten off the bench, who I want to see. That's one of my irrational guys that I like for no reason. They have some other players as well that I was... Actually, let me just pull this up right now. We're gonna pull up the Wolves box score from the other day on the game that I didn't see. They have Nathan Knight, who was on the Hawks last year and looked good. I'm hoping that he plays well. Jalen Noel was dominant in the first game as well. So was Jaden McDaniels. Mostly McKinley Wright and Kenny Wooten are the guys that I want to watch, as well as those other guys that I mentioned. So, Timberwolves and Sixers are the 2 teams that I'm definitely going to catch, and I'll have some analysis for you guys on those games probably tomorrow. But, that's all I have on day 4. So like I said at the top of the video, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, ring the bell if you want to, leave a comment letting me know what you guys think about Day 4 of Summer League, who is your favorite player to watch, who are you looking at moving forward. Would love to hear your thoughts on that down in the comments below. If you are not subscribed already, please consider doing so. That would really help me out a lot, and give me some feedback on the format of these videos. Do you like it better than my normal content? I guess I'll maybe try to experiment with some more stuff like this moving forward, longer form reactions to things that happen regardless of what types of games are going on, preseason, summer league, or regular season. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, with that all said, I will see you guys in the next one.